Hello and welcome back to the Mid-Am Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Tyler. On the other side of the screen for me is my good friend Nathan.
Hello.
Dropping the last names. We're done with those.
We don't need them.
You know us by our first names because we're friends. You've been listening 46. This is the 46th episode, I believe, of the Mid-Am Podcast. So at this point, I think we're on our first name basics, folks. I think it's, you can call me Mr. Tyler, and that's fine. Fine by me. This episode of the Mid-Am Podcast is brought to you by no one.
Ooh.
Yeah. Brought to you
Bombshell.
by no one.
Yeah.
We decided to explore free agency. So as of right now, it's just us, man. Unfiltered, unadulterated commentary without the burden of having to appease the corporate overlords, which is not anything we ever did. That's funny.
I'm still playing Adele Irons, though. I mean,
yeah,
they're great clubs. So everything
they are. I mean,
everything we once said still stands. I mean, I'm still playing them, but yeah,
they're just not don't have a relationship with the company anymore. So
yeah,
best of luck to them. Even bester of luck to us. Actually,
hopefully so. Yeah,
definitely so. Well, hey, tonight we haven't. It's been a heck of a week for the both of us. Nathan more than me, but we just wanted to get on a talk, man, and just kind of hang for a bit, just to decompress and talk about the thing that we love, which is golf. We did actually play a little golf.
If you could call it that.
We did. Gosh, I was thinking back on it. Man, did we play poorly? And we should have won that by 10. We should have won by 10.
For our team's capabilities, we didn't show out very well.
No. So there was a scramble at Wildwood out towards Scappoose, Oregon. Really fun, quirky course, but it's super fun. It was cold, man. It was very, very cold. Relative to for Pacific Northwest, it was chilly. It was probably around 34 degrees when we teed off. Might have got to like 40.
I think it stayed.
And, it was one of those kind of goofy tournaments where there's a little something on every hole. The Digloo made an appearance, had to tee off on 10 strapped into a snowboard, which seemed like litigation just waiting to happen. We got edged out by one, by a team that, here's the thing, guys. I'm not going to sit here and accuse anyone of doing anything, but I will say this: came down to the last hole. We were leaders in the clubhouse, but the team that was able to, that had an opportunity to beat us, was still on the course. Their last one's on the course. They played the 9th hole, which is a should be pretty kind of close to drivable par 4. We hit our drive and had, I don't know what, a 35, 40 yard pitch shot. These guys hit their drive and had at least 95 yards in. So that's number one. So these guys are on track to shoot a 61 scramble. Mm-hmm. And it's a short course, lots of drivable par 4s, lots of all the par 5s are essentially all but one par 5 is pretty gettable. Par 3s are pretty short. So it's a scoring paradise, but it's like, hey, this 300 yard downhill, they had 95 yards in, and they spent probably 15 minutes looking for their balls. Then we proceeded to watch all the first 3 people in the group leave their 90 yard shot 15 yards short, every single one of them. And then the ringer hit a really good wedge shot, really good wedge shot. Yeah. The problem should have been, was that there was a toilet seat around the hole, and there was only one angle at which you could have an unencumbered putt to the hole That was like whatever, a 6-inch wide gap. Well, he
Mhm.
hit it on the wrong side. They had the side of the toilet seat in front of him. First
Yep.
guy tries to chip it in. I mean, so the situation was they needed a birdie to win, because if they parred, we tied, and then we won the scorecard playoff because we shot 28 on the back.
Right.
Um,
And they didn't know that either,
Seemingly didn't know that,
seemingly.
because the first guy tried to chip it in and didn't get it there. The second
Yeah.
guy chipped it over. Then the third guy putted out to the right to give himself a putt at par, but that was just a waste of an
Yeah.
attempt, because a par they lose.
Yeah.
Um, and so then the fourth guy
Ringer
chips
again.
chips it. Although I will say, and everyone is like the entire uh, patio overlooks the screen, so everyone that played in the tournament is watching this. Except
Yeah.
that, so
The seat where
the
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 lid was.
conspiracy theorist in my mind was the seat lid was blocking everyone's view, so it could have been. And I'm just saying, after watching the way it transpired, and thinking these guys went out and shot one better than us. Granted, we played horribly. We played so poorly. Um,
Mhm.
Relative to what we should have been able to do. But it's like, hey
Did it
guys,
go
no
in?
matter what happens on this last one, everyone just go nuts, and I'm just going to reach down very quickly and pretend that this ball went in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just, uh, it was just, yeah, it was just a very funny situation.
Well,
Anyway, the last one,
and
he chips it
the
in, and they go nuts, and then they win
yeah.
it. And it was,
The thing that was so, like, kind of a bummer for me was that he didn't even hit a good chip. Like,
no,
he
he
flubbed it,
drop kicked it. Yeah.
and it landed short and
Bounced over
had just enough bounce to clear the lip of the toilet
and
seat
then
and then
rattled,
roll
funnel pinned
toward the
in.
hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just like, oh, man. If we'd have won on a good shot, or if we'd have lost on a good shot, I'd have been like, "Oh, okay." And as it is, it's like, well, we played like trash and then we lost and they got stupid lucky.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly got stupid lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it was it was great to play. It was a pretty day. Like, the sun was out. It was cold as hell.
Yeah.
Um, but it was tough to like not play good golf. Um, and just feel like a little bit lost. I will say though that like my putting, I was really proud. Like my putting wasn't an issue, which is normally is. It's just every other part of the game was pretty bad. But I did hit
Mhm.
a couple two. I hit two good shots, like two really good shots. That 50-yard kind of half little pitch shot on
Yeah.
17 was sick, and then uh, the shot on 12 won me $25 KP. So that was
Nice.
cool, and I got it on drone and
Yeah.
video. So I was happy
Yeah.
about that. But then I think we both immediately went back to the lab and just started like looking for, you know, just trying to rebuild. And I think we both found something separately. So
Yeah.
um,
No,
I'm, I'm
yeah, I was pretty lost all day. Like, I think I hit one good drive the whole day. It was a really good one. And the rest of them, like, I was topping the ball. Like, it wasn't the normal hooksies,
yeah.
the lefts or anything like that. I was like, I barely making contact. I was topping it. I, you know, almost missed on a couple. So it was pretty frustrating with that. And yeah, I mean, I only shots I think I really contributed on. I hit a couple. No, I hit two good drives because I remember we took one of my other ones that was okay. Um, but other than that, like, I hit some partial wedges that were pretty decent that we ended up using on a couple of the holes, and that's because I had actually practiced those in the last like week or
Right.
so. Everything else was super rusty, and just kind of didn't really have a good feel for any of it. So, yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
early season. It was cold as hell. The course was, it was like combination firm, like, and then
frozen.
but some frozen firm, and then some spots were really soft, and you just kind of didn't really know what was going to happen. And
Yeah,
it was just cold, man, and early, and we're rusty. But it was good to get out there. And yeah, I just think But trying to and I've explained it on here. My attitude is just trying to be grateful for the golf that I do play. I just been a heck of a week. I know obviously you've been going through it with the kiddos and the wife not feeling well, and
Mhm.
work has just been kicking my ass, and I'm like trying to look ahead at the calendar to find where the break is going to be, and I'm like, dude, there might not be one this year. Like it's
Mm.
just like, ugh. Which is busy's good. Busy's a good thing to be, I guess. I should be grateful for that because I could not be busy, and that would be a
Yeah.
real problem.
That's a different problem.
That
Yep.
would be a real problem. This isn't a real problem. This is just life.
Sure.
And Yeah, I just got to be grateful for it and put the time in and just find ways to like get the golf in. Um, in other ways, I'm incredibly blessed to have the relationship I do over at Portland Indoor. Which you got to get up here and
I do. Maybe
when
next
things
week.
settle down, you
Yeah.
got to get up here and we'll spend some time. It's nice
Yeah.
to even sim golf is great. It's really fun. So,
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely.
and I think I also need to kind of temper some expectations on like what my like scoring capabilities might be this year. I really, you know, I, yeah, I think I should just get rid of scoring potential stuff.
Expectations.
Just yeah, like throw that out the window. I mean, that's the right thing to do, isn't it? That's what everyone
Yeah.
tells you. It's like
Yeah.
don't have X score expectations. Like the score is just something that happens, and so
Yeah.
but it's hard not to. It's hard not to want like to be like,
Sure.
well, I
Well, you
want
want
to
to play
go,
well still,
yeah,
and that means, translates to
and
good
that's
scores.
measured
So,
by a number. But I'm like I, I going with kind of a goofy set just to try to like switch stuff up. I'm throwing like blades, the bladiest of blades in through
mhm.
six, and then the 4 and 5 iron are like pretty much blade. They're like blades by most standards. And
Yeah.
then I found oh my god, dude, I snatched this up so fast. Poor guy didn't know what he had. It was Facebook Marketplace.
Uh-huh.
This guy posted a Nike Vaporfly Pro 4 iron. Thing's
Oh,
untouched. Never like
oh, cool.
never hit.
That's super
Uh,
cool.
and the thing's 21 degrees. It's a 3 iron. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just use it as a 3 iron. So put that in there. I found yeah, I got this old, like not old, but it's like the Titleist 917. It's like from I don't know 8 years ago.
Mhm.
I've had it unhit. I mean, this thing like was like dead stock. And then I threw on the original one back in the mini D.
Yep.
And then I'm just keeping my driver because my driver's been pretty pure. But yeah, just going with a goofy set and just gonna go try to have some fun. And whenever I get the next opportunity to play, which might not be for a while, like real golf, outside golf, but
Yeah. Well, and the weather's gonna get wet again, so that's 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 how it is around here, around these parts.
round these
I have to say,
parts.
I have been thinking with everyone being at the not everyone, but with a large portion of people being at the golf show in Florida, it's made me think, gosh, that'd be really fun to get to one of these
Oh
years
yes,
with as the Mid Am boys. Not that anyone would know who we are, but it'd be fun to go just check stuff out.
hell yeah.
Did you see the cart? There was a push cart slash bag thing that looks like a thing of luggage, and you open it up, and
No, it
it's
looks like no, it looks like a
yeah,
demo. It was
yeah.
the ugliest.
It
Five
was
people sent that to me. I was
hideous.
like, that is the dumb.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I
I
don't.
saw
I
that thing and I was like, the clubs clip in on the outside, and then you open it up, and oh, there's a space here for your lunchbox. I'm like, bro, nobody's taking. No, what?
well, first of
And then
all,
like all of a sudden, it's like shelves in there. Like,
that
have
form
you ever
factor is not
pushed a?
new. That
Have you
is
ever?
that's a demo cart.
Yeah,
That's like go to Tristing Tree right now. There's
yeah.
4 of those things from 2004 sitting outside of their shop. Like
Oh my goodness.
that's
I mean, like, and also like, don't put shelves inside your push cart. Obviously, you've never taken a push cart on a golf course. There are bumps. It's like not a smooth ride.
what do you mean? What
Like,
do you mean? I
what do
shouldn't put my Fabergé egg
what?
in my cart?
Yeah.
why is it broken? I don't
No, it was so
understand.
hideous. I don't get it. I'm like, why do people have this? Why why do people with so much money have such terrible taste in ideas? Like,
That's,
just
what
oh
sucks is
my
like that's someone's
goodness.
the tough thing is that like that's someone's passion. They're
Oh,
like,
they
dude,
love it.
this is
You
like,
know,
this is like my I'm like, this is the next big thing. And they
this
believe
is
that. To
it.
bring that to market, to like get either like to get in front of investors and try to get money or to self-finance that thing, like that is their passion. And they think they are cooking. And I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I don't want to try to yuck on anyone's yum, but
that was
that is an abomination.
it was pretty bad. The thing that I have seen that I thought was cool were which are not new per se, but I hadn't seen them before, are the one-person golf carts. I thought that was kinda neat,
Yeah.
actually, and I could see use case for those that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, just like courses that have gotten really like they have all like the golf boards or the fin
Yeah.
scooters or things like that. Like, kinda it's nice to have that independence of being, like, on something motorized, but not have, someone else that you're carting around and, like, have to go
In
to their stuff too.
in theory, it
It's
should improve pace of
it's
play, something like
yeah,
that would
it's
improve
pretty
pace of
slick,
play,
right? So, I just
and they're
saw those and I thought,
light.
"Oh, actually, that's I could see that. I could see that
They're
working."
light too, so I think
Yeah,
also in theory, they'd probably be a little less stressful on the grass.
yeah, cool.
Um,
I
so
don't know.
yeah, the PGA merch show would be really cool. Just to like meet people that we've interacted with online. It's a
Sure.
very easy way to like just shotgun approach to just meeting a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. The thing that turns me off about it is like the content creator
Oh,
aspect of
yeah.
it, and
No,
that's
yeah,
one
no.
thing that like I am really separating myself from personally is like this idea of being a content creator.
Yeah,
Hate it. I hate that moniker. I don't like the um I don't like it seems very just the whole thing about it, and I know I'm speaking out of both sides of my face because I've been doing it for a while.
yeah,
Is just like it seems very it's anything but organic to like plan out content and then shoot it with the intent
yeah,
to edit and post. Like that is just there's nothing. It just ugh, it
yeah.
just that's all I like. That's the way that I can express myself is just ugh.
Ugh,
And
you
so,
just got the ick.
yeah, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna be someone who's on the internet who shares like parts of my life that are around this game, um, and you know,
Yeah.
and that's
My
just it. Yeah, I'm
I wanna
so over
go
this.
I wanna go, for no one else other than myself
Right? No,
to
that's
go
what I'm
see
saying.
stuff,
Like,
you know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
like,
like
I would go and not film a damn thing, and I don't care because I would be trying to get to, like, the seminars and, like, the debate with Brian Manzella and John
yeah,
Tattersall, I think is how you
that
say
was
that, like,
sick.
that would be
That's where
I
I
would
would be.
love to
Is
have
I
been
would
there. I
just
would just
be
sit there.
I'd
Yeah.
be looking at PowerPoints all day.
Oh, yeah. So good. I
Um,
don't really care about the merch or, like,
I mean, it's
the
kind of fun to
new
go see that
I mean,
stuff.
sure, yeah, but, like, okay, I'm not gonna go around and look at, like, 10,000 golf polos. I don't give a shit. Like, it's a polo.
Or just like
Here's another take. Fit
here's a
checks are stupid. Stop doing them. No one cares what you look like in something. They only either are gonna look at it and go, "I want that for myself." They don't care about you. They don't care about how you look or your fit or your style. Like, it
or
does it's the
I
stupidest thing in the world. Stop doing them.
I'm gonna go at a different angle here on this one. I think generally the core of your argument is
Yes.
I there's weight to that, and I agree with you. I do
Yes.
like if you're going to do a quote unquote fit check, just say, I think I look good. I think
Yeah.
I look good. I am feeling myself, and so I'm
Yeah.
putting it out there. Not like, oh, people are asking me what I'm wearing. No, they're fucking not. They're
Yeah.
not doing
No,
it.
they're not.
So
No, they're not.
and it's okay. It's okay
Yeah.
to be like, dude, I look good. And I want to
Yeah.
share this because I look good and I feel good and I want to like put that out there.
Sure. That's
There's
fine.
there's nothing wrong with that. Do that. But just don't pretend that it's anything other than that.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why it's not okay to like say that. It's like and I get hit with it sometimes with swing stuff where I'll like post a swing and I've literally said like I like the way this looks, and then it's like, oh, this isn't good. You know, people get in their comments or like try to give you tips and try to say this, that, and the other. I'm like, guys, I just said it looks like a good golf swing. And they're like, oh wow, I guess like you have a perfect swing and you can't learn anything from anyone. I'm like, I did not say that.
Yeah.
All I said was, I
Yeah.
like this golf swing. I think it
Yeah.
looks good. I felt good about it, so I'm posting it for me. Like,
Yeah.
you can leave, dude. Like, this
Felt
isn't your
cute.
house. Felt
Might
cute,
delete later.
not gonna delete later because, or I probably will because in a
Or
year my swing will be better.
yeah.
So I don't know. It's just like,
Nah, I just hate it. Like, I just like it's. I don't want to see a damn digital runway show. I don't care.
yeah,
Like, you know where I got my last polo for golf? Costco. You know how much it costs? Like $11. So,
ridiculously good
you know,
value. And they've been putting out
screw
some really
you
solid stuff.
all. Like, yeah, they
Spe
great stuff.
not that I wanna
Great
talk
stuff.
about fashion because I don't know anything about it, but, like,
It doesn't
typically
matter.
Costco puts out some
Fashion is
real
stupid.
stinkers, but their, like, apparel team's been doing great, like,
Fashion is
pretty
done. Look at
fashionable stuff
what's like cool nowadays is like stuff I was embarrassed to wear in the early
in the 90s.
2000s
Yeah,
and the 90s.
yeah.
Like that's cool, and that, like, don't tell me you actually feel like, yeah, you look, you're so drippy and that. Like, no, come on. The only thing that I will say is like timeless stuff, like people like Cashmere Keith or
Oh
like that
god,
kind of like just classy
Keith.
style, clean cut, classy stuff.
Post that all
All
day,
right.
Keith. Keith, if
I'm
we know
for
you're
it. I'm
listening,
here for it. Keith,
post more thirst traps, Keith, please.
send not like the opposite of nudes, just like fully
Yeah, the
dapped
more
up.
clothes,
Yep.
yeah, dude. I want so many layers. I
Yeah.
want a polo with a sweater and then something else on top.
Yep.
I don't even
It's
know.
got like
Surprise me.
sartorial,
Yeah.
just gasm all over. Just send them. Send 'em. Anyway, but like, yeah, don't walk out in something baggy. Not no shade against Malbon. Do whatever you want, but like some baggy thing from Fila that's got like duct tape on. You know what I mean? Like, just it's not
I just don't care for people, and I don't know. Again, I can be flashy. I'm pretty I like the flashy stuff.
sure.
I'm looking at a blue and neon pink golf bag. Two of them actually.
Yeah, it's I've
I
seen it.
like
It
that. I like that
hurt my
stuff.
eyes, but it was,
Yeah,
it
I
was
like that
there.
stuff, but it's just like I don't know, like it's the it's that thing of like wearing something ridiculous and then being like, I just don't understand why people can't leave me alone and just like why they're all at my ass.
Uh,
Why is everyone obsessed with me? I'm like, that was your goal, right? That's
yeah,
what you wanted. You
this is
wanted
for
people
attention.
you wanted the ridicule, you wanted the criticism because that's attention. Like what
Yeah.
I'm confused. And so it's just like you're making the whole thing about you. Not everything
Yeah.
has to be about you. It's okay to just kind of like
Yeah.
not be the main character. You're not the main character of anyone else's story, by the way. Just I'm not the main character of Nathan's story. Nathan is not the main character of anyone else's story but his own. So
I mean, honestly, I'm probably not even the main character of my own.
yeah, I think that's just being a parent. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. This in social media, especially recently, it's just done a horrible job of fueling this like
Yeah.
egocentric bullshit. And I'm so over it. And I think it's like it's bled into like a lot of parts of our lives that are like actually super important, like, the way way things are run. So anyway, I just yeah, I the whole content creator thing, uh, in like the deliberate act of like planning shit out and like trying to have a
Yeah. That's just,
posting calendar and like, oh, you gotta really find your niche and you gotta you really got to stay on message and get the message out there and but I'm just like, dude, like live your fucking life. None of you are like there's such a small portion of content creators that are actually making a living doing this. I will tell you right now, and it's funny. People ask me all the time, like, "Oh, is this your full time gig?" Dog, I have 20,000 followers on Instagram. I make $0 from this. I get free
yeah.
stuff every once in a while. I
Yeah.
make $0 from this. In fact, I was losing $14 a month paying Meta for that dumbass blue check mark. And I stopped doing that after a while because I'm like, this is so stupid. I can't believe I did it in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, there there are a few people that are, it's kind of mirrors current society pretty well. There are a few people who are making all of the money, and then everyone else is just kind of like here. So like if you're trying to plan out content, you're one of the people that's never, you're not going to make money. You're not going to
Yeah.
make the money. You're too late.
No.
You don't have, like, just live your life, man, and like post about stuff in a meaningful way to like interact with other human beings, not to troll the algorithm or blah blah blah. I don't know. It's such a turnoff. It really bummed me out. It bums me out.
Yep.
It just bums me out.
Me too. I've been close to deleting things
I
a couple
deleted.
times
I will say this. The
lately.
iPhone, it
Oh yeah.
allows you, I didn't realize this. It allows you to delete apps off of your home screen. So that means like
Yeah.
there is no app icon anywhere
Yeah.
on your phone. You have to go in and search it.
Search for it. Yeah.
And that I just deleted pretty much everything off of the home screen of my phone. So now I go on Instagram like maybe once a day, but most of the
Oh,
time, like I skip, I've skipped several days where I just don't even go on it
yeah.
because it's not easy. It's like, oh, I have to make a very concerted effort to like pull the thing down, type in Instagram, click it, and then I'm
Uh-huh.
in. It's wild that just having that barrier to entry, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really
Yeah.
need to go on it.
I managed to get to Facebook Marketplace pretty easily still somehow.
Oh
And just
God, that's
scroll and scroll.
such a
I actually just saw,
that's a trap, dude.
you know what's funny though is like I was literally an hour and a half ago before we started recording, I was sitting there hanging out. We're just relaxing in the living room before my kid goes to bed. I'm on Marketplace. I'm scrolling. I'm like, oh, that's a cool looking, that's a nice 5 wood there. Oh, that's Tyler. Like usually I can pick it out because I'm like, I know what your
Yeah.
office looks like and I know what other stuff you have. So I'm scrolling through. I'm like, there's Tyler's. And this one for some reason I was just like,
Hmm.
oh, I like that. I like that fairway wood. I click on it and I'm like, oh wow,
Uh,
tour AD shaft, cool. Scroll down, Tyler Muntz. What? Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, I'll be messaging you on Marketplace. I'm gonna give you the classic.
Is it
Is
still
this still
available?
available?
Still
Yeah,
available.
yeah. And then
And
I'm gonna
then never
ghost you.
respond again.
Yeah, never again, never again.
Yeah,
Good.
that's social media has been a bummer lately, and so yeah, I've been
Yeah,
definitely trying to get away from it, and it's been really really nice. And I'm gonna, yeah, I mean, it's more meaningful. I don't know, it just seems more meaningful when things post. And also, what's super super dumb is like if you don't post on your story, this is just like peek behind the screen of how, at least how things are working on from my end.
sure.
20,000 followers, maybe 1,200 people will see my story. Like
Hmm.
Instagram will feed my story to 1,200 people of those people.
Hmm.
Don't post for like 4 or 5 days, then just post like randomly post a story. Five or
Hmm.
six thousand easily. 5 or 6 thousand
Hmm.
people. It's weird. It's like that's dumb. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough talk about social media, which is fake.
Yeah.
Let's talk
It's
about
dumb.
real fake stuff, which
The
is
golf swing.
the golf swing. Oh yeah, yeah. What?
Rotation is fake, people.
It is.
Stop trying to rotate. It's
Mm-hmm.
a lie. It happens, but not how you think it does,
It is
and
a result.
not
It
by
is.
trying to do it.
Yeah, it is
So quit it.
not a conscious effort.
Here's a weird one. Here's a weird thought I had recently. Okay, so for me, I've realized I was watching swings from more recently and then from back in the fall when I was hitting it really good after I started working with TJ, like right at the start.
yeah.
I was focused then a lot more on like a lot of setup tweaks,
Hmm.
namely some more ad stuff like what is it called? I think radius locks essentially, but basically it's like keep your head still,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't bob or sway a ton in the swing. It stays pretty steady. Um, and I was focused a lot on that back then because it was new and weird. And I think I felt like I kind of got like comfortable with it and then I got sloppy with it. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've noticed. So then I've been trying to feel that more lately. Like, okay, I get through this setup and then I imagine like, you ever seen that, like when somebody like holds a chicken and they
Oh
like
yeah, and then
move
it's
the
hit.
chicken around and their head just stays in the same place in space. Exactly. Yeah, just like that. Except for your head's moving too much. It's
Well,
just
my
body.
head's just
Just
imagine like,
body. Yeah.
yeah, that my
Yeah.
head,
There you
like
go.
if I could stabilize this,
Yeah, exactly. It's
that's what
got
it would be
real
like.
good stabe.
Yeah.
Um, so that I've been playing around with this feel, and it made me um, have a weird like physical like internal feel cue, but I think
Okay.
actually might have some merit to it. So I'll share it with you now.
Okay.
I think that we should not endeavor to feel the separation between the shoulders and hips so
Okay.
much
Yes.
as we should try and feel separation between our shoulders and hips in relation to our spine. So, like, you should feel like your spine does not rotate in the swing, but that your shoulders rotate around your spine.
Okay.
Make
Okay.
sense? Kind of?
Yes.
You kind of get it?
That totally makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
or that your hip, we're rotating around the axis. And so, therefore, we should try to, or for at least in my case, what I'm trying to feel then is rotation separate from the axis. So it's just kind of a weird thing to try and feel, but as I do it, all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh, I actually can make a bigger turn doing this than if I try and turn like my chest and my spine."
Yeah.
And if I try and start to feel like my spine and my head and my like everything stays stable once I set up and I turn around it, all of a sudden like my rib cage and my shoulder blades and my arms and everything turn better, bigger, and it doesn't feel like I'm stretching. It's weird.
Yeah, I think like the way I'm picturing it is like if you're, when you're at setup, just to like pretend that, your spine is like a flat like ruler, right? And that
Sure,
it's
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like the flat side is essentially perpendicular, like perpendicular is like parallel to your target line essentially, right?
Right.
And so if you were to run a vertice from the center of that ruler perpendicular to your target line, um, you're trying to basically keep that line that's kind of sticking out from the middle of your chest that is rooted in your spine
Yeah.
from like moving
Moving.
too much.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
want that
exactly.
locked in with like, now say you had another one at your belt buckle that went the same way. You
Yeah,
don't want those both to move one to
off
one.
the
You want,
ball. Yeah,
yeah, you want the pelvis to move more than that the chest one does, and in the same way. And it's funny like that you said that, because like I think your goal is very different from my goal, but like that idea is so integral to both of what we need to feel to get there. So like my
yeah,
thing is more in the transition where I am locking in my hips and my shoulders really so that they're like going at the same time, and that's what's creating this big over the top big
uh-huh,
left path, right? Where it's like if I feel like my chest stays closed all throughout and I let my hips go first, well, my chest really can't actually be closed. It's gonna be opening,
sure.
but that vector that is running from my chest, it's gonna look like it really stayed kind of out in the same
Yeah,
spot
kinda pointed out.
as my
Yeah,
shoulders rotated, because your shoulders, another one too, is like keeping that spine angle vertical the entire time, because you
mhm,
can you can bend without
yeah,
your spine moving away from
bending.
vertical. That's your
Yeah,
shoulders moving and that's your hips moving. Um, yeah, that's
yeah.
that's really interesting way to think about it. I
Yeah,
like that.
so like, case in point, if you stood like, okay, so here we're sitting at desks looking at each other through computer screens, but if you're listening to this, you can do this however you wanna do it. But if you sit and put your arms outstretched in front of you like this, right? Okay. Now, keep your sternum and your spine and everything pointed dead at the screen, dead at the camera, right? But push one arm closer to the camera than the other.
Oh, yep,
Okay, feel that?
yep.
Your spine's not rotating there, right? Your rib cage is flexing, your shoulder blades are protracting and retracting.
Yeah, but your spine's
Okay.
staying in
And
the
it
right where
looks like rotation,
but it's not.
but your spine is not rotating. I saw this thing the other day that was like, how your spine moves in the golf swing. And it's like,
It doesn't.
not really though. Like,
Not a
not, I
ton.
mean, you can't know that unless we're doing like somebody swinging a golf club during a CT scan. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we
Yeah.
can't see that. Even as cool as I think a lot of like 3D systems are, they're still just putting little, you know, markers on the outside of a body on a piece of or on some fabric, right?
Mhm.
Fabric moves
Right.
independent of your skin or of your body. Skin moves independent of the skeletal structure beneath it. So like even these things that look really scientific are not fully 100% accurate, and they never will be unless we can put sensors inside of a human on the actual like bony landmarks.
Mhm.
So like I think some of this stuff you have to kind of take with a grain of salt, and like um it may be cool, but also this is why like studying the golf swing from video is so tough, and like everything, like so much stuff is optical illusions. Like that looks like a ton of rotation, but if I still feel like my chest is pointed like straight forward, my arms all the way across my body now, right? Because all I'm doing is just shoving my shoulder blade forward, and all of a sudden my arm starts to go with it. It's just, you know. So that's kind of the feel I've been going with, and it helps me feel like super stable back in these like setup, quote unquote radius locks, if that's the term I think it is.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'd say
and
I've heard TJ mention it
sure,
on the
okay,
gram.
wow, okay, okay. So I don't know, it's just kind of fascinating, but all of a sudden it's like, wow, cool. I make a bigger turn, but I feel like I'm only making a half swing, and my head stays still, and like, oh, okay, I think this is probably what I was doing initially. I had different intent, but um yeah, so I'm excited to kind of revisit that and refine it and kind of get back to that, cuz I was hitting the ball really good back then, and I'd love to recapture that a bit.
Yeah, I've like I said, my like revelation was yeah, more rooted in like just kind of undoing a lot of what I was trying to do is, trying to get open and trying to get more rotation and be more rotational. And it's like that's a big trap, because
Can be.
you don't need you in theory you don't really need that. Like that happens if you're moving things at the right time and you're like your pressure shifts are happening, you know efficiently. But like this idea of like keeping my chest closed, that's when you get into that, because I'm like, I look at Xander Shoffley's swing, for instance, and I'm like,
Sure.
that's God, that's
Yeah.
unbelievable action, man. I want that. But I'm always like, man, I literally can't figure out how to do it. And then when I look at it more, it's like, man, his head is so far behind the ball. How
Yeah.
is it, how is this pot? And then when I saw that one Porzak video, and he's like talking about, that exact feeling of keeping everything behind the ball, which is really just like feeling like he feels like his chest is pointed. If I'm facing 12 o'clock, his chest is pointed at like 2 o'clock. The
Mhm.
entire, the entire downswing transition into impact. That's not actually happening, but that's what he feels like.
Sure.
When I kind of rehearse that swing and then I look at that impact position, I'm like, that's Xander Shoffley all freaking day. And now all of
Yeah.
a sudden, this hands forward thing feels so easy. And then it also is like, there's literally no way that I could have a left swing path with this
No,
move.
not
It's
yeah.
impossible. And so, I mean, that just like opened my eyes, and it feels super weird, and it's hard to like be like, oh man, but I'm gonna, the club is gonna crash into the ground, or I'm gonna like swing up. I'm not gonna have an, angle of attack going down. But it's like you can have that feeling with the upper body, the sternum, and while still like
Pushing off
moving,
the ground.
pushing
Yeah.
off the ground, moving left, and then push, like you can still do all those things. So I
Yeah.
gotta practice and hit some balls more with that feel. But like when I was doing the ripstick, I was struggling to get to 110 miles an hour with like my driver, just swinging as hard as I could, no ball or anything, really struggling to 110. I was hitting 115, 117, 122 with this feel, with the like ripstick equivalent of a driver weight.
Yeah.
No problem. And I even clipped the ground a little bit on accident.
Oop.
And the mark on my driveway is like a perfect, it's probably like 3 degrees into out. I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, brother. That is killer. That's a
Babe, don't
good,
worry about it. Don't worry about it. These are all good marks.
yeah, these are great marks. These
This
are
is what we
the
want.
best marks.
The
People talking
best.
about him. People are saying,
Um, well,
yes.
I totally squashed your like clever transition earlier because I wanted to talk about golf swing, but
No, it's fine. We had a thought of, hey, like a celebrity foursome on the golf course.
mhm,
Freaking degenerates. Three people and one of us, like a morning tea time and then an afternoon tea time. And I was gonna say, oh, like do celebrities, but like non-golfing celebrities. So not like your
yeah,
Bill Murray, your Tom Brady, your RIP the Bills, Josh Allen. God, this Super Bowl's gonna suck, dude.
mm,
I don't know if you're like, I'm not super into football, but like I usually watch around this time of year.
yeah.
Eagles Chiefs, man. Ugh,
I'm gonna
brutal.
get in trouble. Like I don't even remember the last Super Bowl I watched.
Just because the Chiefs one is boring as
It's
hell.
because they suck. They're boring.
Um. Anyway, but then I was like, you know what? Let's take it one step further. Let's do fictional characters.
Yeah,
Let's
that was
rattle
hard,
off.
honestly. Like
Let's
at
rattle
first,
off a bunch of fictional characters, and I sprinkled in some like ones that you would not want, probably not want to play, because the original idea was like to draft. Like we're gonna do a draft, and so you
sure.
might get stuck with some bad ones, but I don't really want to do that.
Yeah,
I just kind of want to go through, and then maybe we could probably brainstorm a few to start. But I can start if we
go
want.
ahead. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
this one was like first one. It's like so quickly was Kirk Lazarus from Tropic Thunder, which is Robert Downing
Yeah,
Jr.'s
yeah.
character. Could you like Kirk Lazarus though in character in that blackface character?
You don't never know. Cool.
Like
Hey,
that would be.
what do you mean, you people?
What do you mean,
What
you
do
people?
you mean, you people?
It would be so. Oh god, that would be good. So Kirk Lazarus, he doesn't break
Uh,
character until the DVD commentary is done.
oh
He
my
would not be
gosh.
breaking character at our AT&T Pebble Beach Pro Am. So Kirk
Oh
Lazarus
man.
was my first one.
Yeah.
Lord Farquaad
Yeah, absolutely.
would be a good. I feel like he would be good for the vibes. Just one to pick on. Bandit from Bluey.
Oh, yeah,
The
hell yeah.
dad. How fun would
Yeah,
that be?
so
He's
good.
just seems like the best.
He would be great. He'd be so
Amazing.
much fun. Yes.
Um, Anton Shiger. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly, but that is uh, the serial killer or like the assassin from No Country for Old Men.
Oh, yes. Oh, what's his name? What's the actor's
Benicio
name?
del Toro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like that character with his
Why
bowl cut with his
okay,
with the
talk me through
cattle
that one,
prod thing.
'cause why would you wanna
I
play
don't,
golf with
to like
that?
maybe they're like the threat of like impending doom might light a fire,
Sure.
right? If it's like
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily have to say he's gonna kill you if we don't
No.
win, but like the threat is there.
Yeah.
It's at
Sure.
least implied. And so
I
it's
just
like,
I
okay,
just
like
have this image of him, like, holding up a flag stick and to your forehead and being like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
that might have been
probably
what
what will
we
happen.
needed at Wildwood to make some of those putts.
Well, there's that. There's that.
Um, I got a couple more. Uh, White Goodman from Globo Gym.
Mm. Oh, I
Uh,
don't know that one.
Dodgeball. It's Ben Stiller's
Oh, okay,
character.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That would be interesting. Could be
That
a
would be
as a
interesting.
potential. Archer from
Oh my gosh.
TV show Archer.
That would be too much.
That would be nuts.
That gives me
He
another
would
answer
shoot
for
someone.
sure.
He would
He
shoot
would
someone by 14.
Lana!
And then finally, this one it would be kind of a game breaker. The
Uh-huh.
Iron Giant,
The
the
Iron Giant.
yeah, the 150-foot tall steel man from Mars, but with the dent still in his head, so he
Oh.
doesn't want to kill. He doesn't want to
Yeah,
take over the
absolutely.
world. So
Sure.
he's still
Uh-huh.
the nice one.
Yeah.
I
Um,
go, you stay, and then I'm 8 years old, crying.
oh my gosh. That's that's a fully unhinged direction to take this. this questionnaire of just like of your yeah, golf foursome. I did not think of many of those or any of, well, I didn't think of any of those, but yeah, no, I
Good.
that was far more creative than I got. Um,
You've been a little busy.
yeah. Well, I mean, immediately are like fictional characters, and I was like, what? Like from books? Like we're talking like Ahab? Like
Do you have an Of Mice and
this,
Men reference
the
in here?
very golf is a very white whale type of
It's true.
relationship.
Yeah,
So
actually,
like
that would
the
be an
dude gets
apt.
it. All
Yeah, that
right.
would be an apt.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, that's where my brain went. And then I was like, no, that's going to be a little bit kind of like not out of touch, but just it
a little
doesn't quite
dated.
jive.
A
So
little
then I was
dated.
like, okay, well, how about just like from like movies and TV? So then
Perfect.
obviously you think about golf movies. Roy McAvoy
Oh
would
yeah,
be
that would be
just
sick. That would be.
the man would be fantastic. Like just to get around in, you know. Bagger Vance would be
I'd be good for all of this.
again
I think.
be great. We all need it.
Yep,
So I definitely went like golf movies at first,
that's great.
and then the well ran dry because that's about it. For fictional, I mean, like, Francis We Met would be cool, but he's not fictional.
He did
Um,
exist, as far as
he
we
did
know.
exist in Real Life. Um,
Real
so
life.
so, so then I
Francis, we met.
so then I was just like, what are TV shows that I like and people that I would want to hang out with? And this is where I was like, that afternoon round that we
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, the
hypothetically
vibey
made, where it's
one.
like the afternoon round is definitely for the vibes,
The high
right?
noons are
It,
flowing.
yeah, exactly. So first of all, Jake Peralta from
Yeah,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine
very good.
would just be a hoot, you know?
Yeah.
Like I imagine what's his real name? I don't know. Bobby Fairways from Bob Does Sports. Like he
Oh
kind of
yeah.
strikes me as like a
Yeah.
Adam Sandberg
Yeah, yeah.
kind of character. Like that would be fun. That'd
Yeah.
be really cool.
Jake Peralta. That's a good pull.
Chris Traeger
Chris Traeger
from Chris
from
Traeger,
Parks and Rec. That would be great. Yeah.
literally the best round of golf you could ever play.
Yeah.
Um,
Ben's caddying for him though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that he was on my list. Obviously Ted Lasso,
Oh,
because like it would be so
yes.
uplifting. It would be the
Him
best
and
thing
dude,
ever.
could you imagine him and Bagger Vance in your group? You
Oh
would
my
you would
goodness.
you'd
You'd
leave a
have your
changed
best round
person.
ever.
And
Yeah,
you'd leave a
exactly.
changed person.
Exactly. And you know what? Actually, it wouldn't be your best round. You'd play like trash and you wouldn't even care.
No,
You'd just
you
be like,
wouldn't
you
even
know what?
remember that you played golf,
I
honestly.
understand. I get it now. Um those ones, when you said Archer, it made me immediately think of Shorzy.
Oh, that'd be one. Or you know what would be
That would be
another one
so funny.
along the same lines would be Jeff Fisher from Community.
Oh yeah.
That would be like really
Absolutely.
honestly, like Troy and Abed would be really good.
It would be, yes.
Britta would be
Britta
hilarious.
would be
The
fantastic. I used to
Dean.
have the biggest crush
Oh yeah,
on Annie.
yeah. Who
I mean,
didn't?
who didn't?
Who
Obviously, who
didn't?
didn't? So yeah, and my wife knows it. So
Yeah,
there's no
Allison
no problem
Allison
saying that here.
Brie is
Of course,
yeah.
Allison, we know you listen.
We know you listen.
We
Huge
know you listen.
fan. Tell Dave I
Come
said hi.
get into golf and come on the podcast. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Um, let's see who else.
Actually, speaking of the Francos,
Mm.
I don't remember his name, but James Franco's character from Pineapple Express would
Oh,
be
absolutely.
very fun. That would be
I just want to be
very
like,
funny.
but like you're the nice drug dealer. Like, hey, how's it going? I can't remember the quote, but that was so good. My second favorite civil architect.
But yeah, then you get into like the
Oh,
Dewey from School of
uh-huh.
Rock,
Yeah,
or we know him as Mr. Schneebly for quite some time, but
sure.
that's not who he is.
Yeah.
Dewey from School of Rock would be a good one. I'm trying to think in that golden age of like television that like
Yeah.
I will say though that not one person from The Office I would want
No.
on like to play with, not a single
No.
person.
Or wait, what's is his name Clifford Robinson? No.
Oh, Craig Robinson is
Craig
his
Robinson.
real
Craig
name.
Robinson.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he'd be fun.
From
Oh,
the
geez.
warehouse. What's his
Yeah,
name? We're gonna get in trouble for this. Nah,
I
we
don't
won't. No,
remember his
none of
name.
you listeners ever talk to us. So
That's true. And
that's
also,
not
yeah, I
true.
just like Office wasn't really ever one of my favorites.
Yeah, I went through a phase.
Yeah,
Friends is awful.
Friends is a bad TV show. Friends is objectively a
Listen,
bad
if
television show.
you it, don't at me, all right?
It's
Because
bad. It's not
I
good.
don't want you to be my friend if you think that it's just not good.
Uh, Donna Meagle
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
Haverford would
Yeah.
like as a combo. That would be a really fun group.
Treat yourself.
They'd be in their own
Treat
cart. It would be
Oh
like
my
it would
goodness.
be tricked out.
It
They'd
would be like
spend 40 grand on
it
the
would
golf cart
that's a
to use it
Mercedes.
to use it,
Yeah.
and then they'd leave it at the course because they'd be like,
Yes.
"Well, we
They'd
don't need
probably
it."
crash it or something and then
No,
just be
I
like,
don't think they would. No, Donna wouldn't let that
No,
happen.
Donna
I don't
wouldn't.
think Donna would let that. But
No,
also,
but
she would like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that would be. And I think like there are a lot of those where it would be like a duo.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, for sure.
yeah, like Donna Meagle, Tom Haverford would be really fun. Chris Traeger, and Ben Wyatt would be really fun.
Yes.
Troy and Abed would be freaking hilarious. I was
Yeah.
thinking too, like when we were first talking about just doing celebrities, I was going to say one of them was going to be Kiefer Sutherland, but in character as Jack Bauer
Oh gosh.
would be really funny. That would be just like really, really funny. And
Yeah.
like he's trying to eat, like acting like he's trying to disarm a nuke
Yeah.
while you're trying to putt.
Yeah. You know who would be I feel like somebody who would just be like just a solid dude. Solid dude would be Dennis Quaid. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like just like
Dennis Quaid would be cool.
be like almost like dad vibes.
From but Dennis Quaid from The Rookie
Oh yeah. Sure.
would be like, I feel like that would be
Mhm.
good. Denzel Washington is the coach
From Remember the
from
Titans
Remember the Titans would be inspiring, a little scary,
would
but
be would
inspiring.
be.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can go. Because then you can start getting into cartoons. I mean, I kind of did that with
With Archer
Bandit and
and
Archer,
Band
I
yeah,
guess.
Bandit, yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of those guys that would be a lot of fun to play golf with. So
Mhm.
we'll have to do some more of that fun stuff, hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals are good.
It
They're fun.
it tickles the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. And why don't you, if you're listening, tell us who you would what fictional characters you'd want to play golf with in your foursome
Mhm.
at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro Am.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can find us on social media. We're at Mid-Am Podcast on Instagram. You can find me at Fade and Fairway. You can find Nathan at nathan.furumesu and at Thistle Leather Goods.
Mhm.
We'll
For
be sending
now.
it for now. Who can say? We'll be sending updates on the fundraiser stuff. I think both of us just kind of try to get through the next couple weeks. And we'll turn it on. It's tough to just feel motivated to do anything around golf when it's like cold and gonna be now cold and wet and
Yeah. I
this
mean, you're
vitamin D
if you're not a
deficiencies.
fellow Pacific Northwesterner, you're catching us in the doldrums for sure.
Oh, this is
So,
seasonal depression, like Super
yeah.
Bowl, man.
This
This
is
is
honestly though, like this is when I want to golf the baddest. Like
well, yeah,
I'm like I can't do anything, and especially with as crazy as my personal life has been, just this last week, it's like I have no time for myself. The only thing I want to do is go just yeet on a bucket of balls.
yeah,
Uh, you know what I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah,
But I can't, and
dude. I
we'll
like
get there. But yeah.
I just this week my therapy this week was just like gluing together golf clubs.
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm making this make me feel better.
Yes, this will
But
be
you know
fun.
what? Sun will come out tomorrow, Annie.
Bet your bottom dollar.
Bet your bottom dollar. And we'll be here when it does. And we hope that you will be here as well. So please like and subscribe or whatever the podcast equivalent of that is. We'd appreciate it. Share, review, all that good stuff. We think we're great and you think we're great and other people think we're great too. So until next week. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Bye.